I'm excited that my Laing P-03 MC stabilizer has arrived at last. Took forever to get the customs due to them trying to believe it was over the threshold when it just was under. But thank goodness I didn't have to pay the tax on that. But here it is. So I'm going to open it up and show what it looks like inside. Being a manly man, I'm going to open it up with a knife. Or perhaps the place is just so messy I can't find where the scissors are. Right, with a blunt kitchen knife, I have opened it up at last, slashed through it. It's got a handy bag to keep it in. Far more useful than this box, I'm sure. Goodbye. An instruction manual, very usefully written in Chinese. I can read, let's see, one word of this. Laing. Yeah, that's a band of it. 08 and P-03, I can read that too. The model number. Oh yeah, this is the version MC. There are two versions. It's an MC version, the bigger one, that I've got here, and a smaller XC. I thought I might as well spend a bit more just for the bigger one. So for future proofing, should I need a bit more camera and gear on it. And yeah, this looks like a very detailed manual. Surely going to be very useful. Except the whole thing is in Chinese. Thankfully my girlfriend is Chinese. I shall look forward to finding out what this says and I'll update later. Right. Hey, it comes with Allen keys. 2 of them. Well, that is very handy. You don't need... comes with everything. Although, being a cyclist, I've got more than enough Allen keys already. Okay. Whoa. And here it is itself. That is pretty heavy. Although this is carbon fibre. The weight, though, all comes from this. And also explains why it was so expensive to ship, huh? The thing weighs 3 kgs in total according to the packaging on the box. So, well, I shall go set a camera up on this and try out balancing it in a moment. I have here a Nikon D90 to put on a stabilizer. I do have a GH1, but I'm using this to film it, of course. So I'm using the girlfriend's D90 instead to put on it to demonstrate. You know, the D90 does have a very famous status within video DSLR history. It was the first ever DSLR to get video implemented on it. Okie dokie, it's got a quick release plate on top, and yep, by undoing this plastic knob, which, hey, I think it's the only plastic knob it has. Everything else is metal, aside from these plastic levers as well. So yeah, it's only good construction. I'm completely new to using a stabilizer. This is my first ever stabilizer, so we're getting a complete noob's viewpoint on this. And I will later on go look up some tutorials on how to set this up perfectly, but for now, my opinions are you've got a knob up here evidently, which tightens this up and keeps the base plate from moving. You've got these little metal knobs that allow you to just very slightly move it up or back by very small amounts. And there's another knob on the other side that must be for... not sure what this left hand knob is for. Probably this will be time when the instruction manual will come in useful. But I would wonder if it would be for the other axis moving it about. I can't seem to see how that could be so. Right. Anyway, down here we have the gimbal and the handle. I can definitely see how you need to have a wrist that's very strong and has worked out a lot to be able to hold this for extended periods of time. It is pretty heavy. No wonder people use vests with this. I can imagine my wrist is going to get in even more of a workout than before. Nothing dodgy at all implied. Well, I do wonder if with a lighter camera I might not need all the weight on the bottom either. It has got, well, quite a few different weight sizes here. I've got a total of 5 weights on the bottom on each side. So 10 in total, so you've definitely got quite a bit of control in how much you can reduce the weights by. And this should be for extending or reducing the size of the pole, I'd assume. So it should be able to be different lengths. Hey, and here we go. That does indeed. Whoa. Whoa. My goodness. Look at how long that is. Practically becomes a monopod at this length. That is pretty impressive. That is the difference between the MC and XC versions. This MC one is much longer than the XC. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at different prices of them. The XC is cheaper. Huh. Whoa. That, ahai! Now I realise what part that was adjusting. This, of course. Oops. Well, time to go look up some tutorials and find out how to set this up properly. Okie dokie, over and out. A few last points I'll make about this before leaving is that at the end here it's got little rubber pads at the bottom, which definitely does improve greatly the ability for this to be used as monopod. Well, expensive monopod, but a monopod. Because otherwise you'll be having these, turn this around a bit so you can see better. Otherwise you'd have the bottom of these bolts here on the ground, and that would just not be a stable surface at all. But because you've got these 4 rubber pads on the bottom instead, that makes a very stable surface to use if you've got it on the ground to use as a monopod. So hey, another use. And I'll just add that I got this from personal-view.com. It's a great forum, I highly recommend checking it out. And they've got quite often got deals that have been posted up by the guy who runs the site. That's how I got this. Via him in Russia from the manufacturers in China. Great source of things. And you can also find them on Amazon. And occasionally you'll see them pop up on eBay, but yeah, they can be a little bit tricky to find. Now I thought about it, I'm pleased I spent the extra money to get the bigger MC version rather than a small XC one, because I can see how its functionality, potentially as a monopod of sorts, could enable a person, if they wanted to have a very minimal gear setup, shoot just with this for a whole day. While of course shooting with a stabilizer for a whole day would be certain to give your wrist RSI very quickly, and yeah, so painful. It will tire you out very fast. You know, in between, you could just use it as a monopod for more stable shots, stationary ones, and give yourself a bit of a rest and a break, and just alternate between the two of moving fluid Glidecam style shots and one's just stationary with a monopod. Could be quite a good setup. I'm definitely going to try this out with my next short film that I'll do. I'm pleased. Oh yeah, and just cut whatever blah blah. And finally, I will end with, make sure you check out personalview.com. The forums there are great, and that's where I got this from. See ya.